How to stay safe driving for the gig apps like Uber, DoorDash, or Spark? It's a question that has really been on my mind recently since one of my friends told me that he was attacked by a pit bull going into a yard delivering some food. And there's really three ways that we have to look at this. There's number one, staying safe from passengers and people that you're delivering to. There's number two, which is staying safe from animals like dogs. And there's number three, is staying safe while driving. So we're going to start with staying safe from people. And really, there's not much you could do to prevent this because if you're going to be doing gig work, you're going to have to be dealing with strangers on a daily basis. And you don't know who these people are, but at the same time, you got to understand they don't know who you are. So the only thing you could do to prevent like a robbery from happening or a really bad situation where somebody is trying to fight you because their ID is not working when you deliver them alcohol, there's really only a couple things you could do for that. And that is number one, that if you ever feel unsafe, don't hesitate to cancel a delivery. Don't hesitate. I know many people who tell me stories, and they're like, I felt really unsafe in this situation delivering to these people because they asked me to go in the back of an alley to deliver their groceries. And whenever I got back there, there was nobody there. It was really dark and scary, etc. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you just have to put your foot down. You have to put your foot down and you have to tell them, I'm not going back there. You can meet me at the end of the corner where it's well lit and where there's other people around to see. And, if they don't want to meet you there, don't hesitate to cancel it. It will affect your rating, but if you call the support directly, they may be able to waive that. Just tell them, hey, I don't feel safe delivering to these people because they want me to go down there into the alley, or they want me to come inside their house and put the groceries away or something crazy. You never know what's going to happen when you deliver to somebody. Now, here's the thing. If you do end up finding yourself in a situation where you're in danger, you're in trouble, there's really, there's the run, hide, and fight thing when it comes to this. I'm sure everyone has heard of run, hide, fight, right? So number one, if you can, just get out of there. Just run and get out of there. And, don't look back. I mean, leave their order there, like drop their food, whatever. I mean, run away. Number two, if you could hide, like say you could run away real fast and hide like behind a bush, behind a car, just lose that person as fast as possible. And then if it comes down to it and you have to fight, and there's a couple options. Now, see, where I live, it's very strict laws because I live in California. So there are very strict self-defense laws. And you can't really carry a boomstick around here. I'm not going to say the word, but you know what I'm talking about. You can't carry a boomstick around here. But there are a couple other options. Now, if you're delivering late at night, there's nothing like a bright flashlight to shine into somebody's eyes quite like that. If you're delivering late at night, that will blind the crap out of them. And they're going to be stunned for a minute. And if you get one like this with the little bevels in it, how kind of like a tactical flashlight, you could even shine it in their eyes and then boom, boom, just hit them in the face a couple times or something. And, once you do that, they're going to be blinded and then they're going to be in pain, maybe have a bloody nose, a broken nose, or a busted lip even. And they're not going to want to mess with you anymore. And you hit them with that, you fight, but as soon as you're done fighting, you need to run and get out of there. And now, if, a flashlight is kind of like a hit or miss. It's not always going to work. But one thing that I prefer to carry that I've actually had to personally use twice before doing deliveries, pretty crazy stories, is some pepper spray. Pepper spray can pretty much be carried anywhere besides, I think, Hawaii and maybe New York. There's some stricter laws around pepper spray there. And pepper spray is really good. You just do what is called the cross. You spray them directly across the eyes, and then you spray them straight down. So you're basically putting a cross on their face. That way it gets in their nose, it gets in their mouth, and their eyes. And it's pretty debilitating. It stops people in their tracks. It really does. And this stuff right here is called PALM, OC. And PALM actually stands for peace of mind. So you can have a peace of mind while carrying it. And this leads me into my second point, which is dogs. And, for dogs, there's not much you could really do be, if you have to fight a dog, there's not much you can really do. You're gonna get bit at the end of the day. You could kick it, maybe some good low kicks straight to the jaw of a dog will keep it back pretty well. But at the end of the day, for dogs, I would recommend some good pepper spray. Some good pepper spray straight to the snout or to the eyes of a dog will really stop it in its tracks. I've had to pepper spray dogs before, not doing DoorDash or Uber, a completely separate incident. But there are some things you could do to prevent getting bit by a dog while doing this. And that is, before you go into anybody's yard, you could text them ahead of time and be like, hey, do you have a dog? And if they say yes, could you meet me out by the road? Or ask them if the dog's put away. This is if they have a fenced yard and you have to go inside of it. And, sometimes those people have beware dog signs on their fence. So look for those. Keep your eyes out for those. And, say you can't get a hold of the customer, you don't see any beware dog signs, but you're still unsure, you could even just give a good whistle. I can't really whistle, but you could even give just a good whistle into the yard and see if there's any dogs that bark or if there's any dogs that come your direction. And, obviously if there is, you could just leave the food outside the gate and send them a message and let them know that's where you left it, because you didn't feel comfortable going in that yard. And, another thing you have to consider is, you may have to cancel that order because they do have a dog and you got to take their food back or something. Like if there's not a spot where you can leave it, call the support, call DoorDash support, call Uber support, anything like that. And just let them know, hey, there's a big dog in this yard. I don't feel comfortable going in there. It's kind of like the first point. If you don't feel comfortable, call the support, tell them what's going on, and 90% of the time, 99% of the time, they're going to take the side of the driver. And another thing is, when you're driving for Uber, when you're driving for DoorDash, the support is only a call away. Sometimes there is a waiting period, like a queue, because, you got to call them. And DoorDash, the support kind of sucks. But from my personal experience, Spark support and Uber support are really good. Now they can only handle so much. They can really handle basic stuff. They're not going to be able to handle more of the intelligent questions, I guess you can say. But they'll be able to help you out with the basic stuff, like if you need to cancel an order and you don't want it to affect your matrix. Now, this is going to lead me into my last point, which is staying safe while driving. We drive a lot. I used to drive over 200 miles every day. And that's a lot of driving. But that was when I was doing 10 to 12 hour days. And so you come into a lot of things when driving. And, you want to prevent everything, of course. You want to follow the traffic laws. You want to make sure you're insured. And you want to, keep a safe distance between you and the other car ahead. Now, listen, there's so much you could do to prevent accidents. Because an accident, at the end of the day, is preventable. It's called an accident. It's not called a purpose, right? But anyways, one thing you need to do if you're doing this line of work is you need to get yourself a good dash cam. Now, not only for the front of your car, you need to have one in the back window as well. You never know if you're going to get rear-ended. You never know if you're going to rear-end somebody. So you need to have a good dash cam in the front. You need to have a good dash cam in the back. And you need to make sure that you're covered on insurance. And, you just want to follow the traffic laws, and you want to make sure that you're being safe. Now, if you're ever in an accident, I would recommend calling the support, and I would recommend reporting the accident. It's in the terms of service. You have to do it. And if not, you do risk your account being banned. And, sometimes you might want to look into your insurance policy, because sometimes these insurance companies won't cover you driving for work. And that personally happened to one of my friends, and he got screwed over real bad. But yeah, those are my 3 valid points to stay safe while you're driving for DoorDash, Uber, Spark, Uber Eats, whatever. And I hope this helped you out. I hope you never need none of this information, and stay safe while driving.